Chestermere Rocky View, followed by the Honourable Member Park.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. The government announced during the election campaign an ambitious plan to build 50 new schools and renovate 70 others. In making that announcement, a lot of people were perplexed to find that those school projects so desperately needed would be tied to surplus revenue. Yet at the same time, corporate handouts like the $3 billion McAllister project was put into place. To the Education Minister, wouldn't it make more sense to flip those around and put the kids first, commit the money to renovating and building new schools, and maybe put the money contingent to the other industry on surplus?
Yeah. The Honourable Deputy Premier.
Mr. Speaker, I think one thing we know for a fact that our province is growing at an unprecedented rate, and there are many communities throughout this province that simply require more schools. And that is our #1 priority. This Premier and the Minister of Education, along with Minister of Infrastructure, have made a commitment that we will provide the schools that the children need so that they can continue receiving the 21st century education that they are receiving in this province in buildings that are adequate for delivering that education. And that is a commitment that we have made to our children in this province, and we will keep that commitment.
Honourable Member.
Mr. Speaker, given many are beginning to wonder if the government's hesitation and commitment to building and renovating schools like they promised is because they don't have the money for it. And given it's been well documented that many schools, as we know, are in disrepair, many communities are growing so quickly that their schools are bursting at the seams, do we have a plan to commit the money now so we can put the kids first? And how are we going to operate these schools when we do commit that money? Do we have money for that also?
Well, this is quite interesting, Mr. Speaker, because here is a member from a political party that is advocating cutting budgets, that is advocating building less, that is advocating cutting programs, and that has run an entire campaign on that, but at the same time he is questioning whether we have the money to build the schools that are so desperately required. I can tell the Speaker one thing. There was a budget in this House that was debated and passed. That budget was taken to Albertans. They reviewed it, and they voted overwhelmingly in favor of the budget and this government, and we will deliver on our commitments.
Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Minister is right about one thing. We did advocate to certain cuts to a bloated bureaucracy, but we said we'd like to see more money put forward to the front lines. I think we all agreed on that. Given the government promised Albertans during the election campaign it was going to take care of these desperately needed new schools, both new and renovated, and given the government has often based its decisions on where to build new schools based on politics rather than need, as we know, to this minister, will you publish a list for all Albertans to see detailing which communities are going to get new schools, which communities are going to get their schools renovated, when and if funds magically appear to this government to spend on the students that desperately need it in this province?
To address the first part of the comment, 85% of Alberta public servants are frontline servants. I would want this member to stand up and tell us which ones he wants to fire. Those who deliver nursing care, or those who teach, or do other important work for Albertans. One thing, Mr. Speaker, if he wants to see the list, every school board provides the Minister of Infrastructure every June, July with their capital plan. That capital plan is reviewed and priorities are being addressed. This member is a new member. I appreciate that, but he will soon know that those capital plans are available. He can review them. They're at his disposal. Go at it.